just want to quickly to talk about how to use the cloud node. So I tried every week to go through the basics. That's why I just keep repeating how to do the very basic things. So as you know, we start adding nodes one after another and stack nodes on top of each other. That's how things work in Houdini. So if I want to create, a cloud, and then I want to convert a character into a cloud character, and then add a moving running cloud out of the character. So let's go through them step by step. So let's add so everything starts with like right click or press tab and then type what you want. So I start by adding a geometry. What is a geometry? So it has a dummy object, which is just a basic. Did we change? Oh, it's ortho. So let's go.
Yeah, it was me. Sorry.
That's all right. Okay. So it's just just a sample object. So I just get rid of that.
It's just in a sense, it's like a folder.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
At the moment, it's just a folder.
So I add a sphere. So with looking at these lines, you can realize that it's a NURBS sphere, but I want a polygon sphere with lots of polygons, subdivisions. So I go for like 20. Why? Because so if you just get into press L. Okay, I see it now. There we go. There it is. So there it is. So we are in object sub panel. So we work on, we animate when we are in channels. We play around with images and composite. You can do compositing in Nuke, in Houdini, which is pretty much similar to Nuke, but very basic. And this is where you make your materials, and this is where you render out. This is where you make your shaders, and this is where you program. Or yeah. Cool. So let's call that cloud character. I start working on playing around with just an object, making it cloud-like, and then plug in, replace the input with a character. So here I click here and drag out and press tab and type a mountain. Or you can simply just tab and add a mountain, and then creates the connection later on. So you see that the visibility is on that one because the blue is turned on here, but the setting is on that on the mountain node. That's why I see some the wire of that. So I go here and then I start playing around to get. So mountain is kind of noise noise algorithm. So you see these algorithms here. So like Pearline, simplified Pearline. So what are them? So for example, if you just type Pearline Noise, you see that they are actually just some mathematical algorithms. So like Pearline Noise is this mathematical algorithm, and somebody has turned it into some lines of code and published it to SIGGRAPH at 1985. So the same way other type of noises are like different algorithms that someone has written. If you want to know more about them, you can go and read them if you're interested in. So I just want to make it more cloud-like before converting into a cloud. So I'm gonna flatten that one. So I add a transform here, and then in the scale. So this is X, Y, and Z. So Z, X, Y here I can figure out which is which. So I scale it down. That's alright. I can convert it to the cloud now. So I add a cloud node, as simple as that. And turned into a cloud, but it's not good enough. So it's just a very basic cloud node. You can add noise and other stuff, but before doing anything, so you know that for getting a good cloud, I have to increase up the sampling divisions, but then it becomes so slow. That's why we tend to work with slices of a pre-visualization. Just one slice of this cloud might be enough to analyze it. So I type a slice, volume slice. So that volume slice, this represents what it does. So if I go to there, I don't want it to be infrared. I just go grayscale, and because the cloud is being distributed between 1 to 10 here, that's why I make the visualization to be distributed between 1 to 10. Now I have a better pre-visualization of the cloud. So I can start playing around with different attributes without worrying about if it gets heavy or it might crash or something. So you can play with these curves. Let's convert all of them to spline. Anyway, so some nice roundish, or there's no special scale. You can add. So you can visualize it as polygons and then like add secondary blobs on top of those polygons. So by looking at the slice, you can figure out what would happen after that. Okay, let's go back to the I'm gonna turn off the visualization. Not bad. But this cloud would look much nicer if I use a cloud light. So I add a cloud light. Okay, that looks much nicer, but I don't like that secondary one. So I go back to so you see that by clicking on that cloud light, one sunlight, one skylight has been added, and they've been merged into the, so you see that that cloud point is affecting our cloud light. So one cloud light node has been added before the volume slice. So I'm gonna just go to the secondary shapes, make them smaller, or just get rid of that. No, they were nice. Just smaller. Anyway, so this is the cloud we got. It can be less dense and stuff, but the beauty of Houdini is that it's procedural. So you see that everything has started with a sphere. So I can type file and go and read a Alembic or a FBX or a OPJ node. So you see that you can see that all the all different type of files that. Oh, it can read light wave. I didn't know that. Interesting.
What's a light wave?
But
What's a light wave?
So but for now I just add a test object. We have a character here, a human character here, and I replace it with the sphere. So I just plug this into here and then wait. So now lots of things has to be adjusted because that cloud doesn't look like a human at all. First of all, the mountain, so you see if I just click here, human, it turns into a like very noisy Victoria's Secret. that was an amazing joke. So I just so you know that by the blue means show, the yellow means to bypass this node. I mean, don't do anything, but just keep it. Here, you see that the character has been crushed down, so I just skip that one as well. So let's go back to the cloud. The cloud is too. I click on that. Yeah, the secondary shape doesn't work very well here. I just get rid of that. Yeah, it looks better. So let's go to play around with the maybe less dense, and these things will help more on the edges to. So you see that this is the core of the body. So if I lower down here, everything right in the. Come on, help me. Yeah. Right inside the body gets transparent. So from the inside the body to outside, it's just the pattern of that one. So you can add a noise after that as well. So just a cloud noise. That's a really cool node.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Yeah. Too harsh at the moment. So
looks natural.
Yeah. Let's lower the amplitude. Yeah, that's better.
Nice.
So I can use the same character, this test object, or a imported Alembic. One very important hint I found out when we were working on a project. You have seen that you can merge the animation into one single Alembic cache, but don't do that for Houdini. Sometimes when you want to render out, to cache out an Alembic animation, you have two ways to create one single file for each frame, or merge them all together. So just keep it as an Alembic sequence, because Houdini processes them frame by frame, and things would be much.
Open it as a sequence anyway.
Yeah.
Should find it and go, oh, these are all part of the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Automatically.
But Maya creates, for example, just one single Alembic out of your animation. That kills your Houdini. Yeah, Houdini will start cry out. So I just grab this node, go back, make another geometry, call that cloud running, and paste that one here, and I go out and just click on Pyro Dry Eyes. Cool. So and let's play that out. So you see that those two like kind of combine. This there's no plane to receive the
gravity.
The collision. So I add a ground plane here, and then I make it invisible, and then I do the so let's the simulation happen box. So, and that box is limited up to here.
Yes.
You want to but with the cost of heavier simulation, just dive into your Pyro Sim. So if you don't know what they are and how they are interacting with each other, just go to the view and show for all nodes. You see that they are interconnected. Actually, everything in Houdini is interconnected. So so that's why I get into the Pyro Sim. I select the Pyro, and I just scale up the simulation area, so to leave enough space for the camera to see a nice simulation. and recache it again. Let's go up. If you want to change the color of the cloud inside the body, because everyone wants different effects, so just June.
Do not candy floss this stuff.
So just get into the go into this Pyro import. This is the rendering for the for the ice, dry ice. So I add a color here. So for example, that one would be like, I don't know,
Pink.
Pink.
You and your candy floss. Eh?
And then for the body, color here. Let's try out. Yes, we can. Just leave it inside here. Yeah. Yeah, there we are. So we just quickly created a character.
Candy floss
Cloud character. So you can export your cloud simulation again with a file, the same way that you did. You can import, you can write down as well, and at some other time we will talk about how to render this out as beautiful as possible. But that was a quick tutorial on how to make a nice cloudy pinky.
Now, segue time.
Nice.
Cool.
I can show you
Thank you very much.
how to one up your